Guys, I broke the 944. And honestly, I'm not really exaggerating. It kind of was as disastrous as I'm saying it is. It's because the rear left suspension fully collapsed. The wheels were off, it was on stands, there was ropes on the axles, just a mess. Like anybody else who decides to live in Canada, I have fallen victim to the bane of every driver's existence: potholes. I've actually managed to capture 4K CCTV footage of the pothole destroying my car.
Oh my god, Paul! Oh my god! Oh, thank God I'm still alive.
I know, scary stuff. I'm surprised I even came out of that alive. It goes to show you the 80s engineering and safety features. The no airbags, that saved my life right there. It is kind of scary to me that I have to fix my rear suspension all of a sudden. While others would run away from the situation, I was honestly kind of excited. You know, I get to finally be a little gear monkey, you know, get my hands dirty. So I thought, who other than this spectacle of human achievement to fix this suspension? Here is the entire process of me going from broken suspension to brand new. So I decided to employ another top tier athlete, just the best of its kind. Absolutely stunning. The first step was cutting off the exhaust because the bolts were fully rusted.
This should be able to go in. There's just metal here.
This is wrong. This job was actually a lot harder than it turned out to be, since the two flanges you're seeing were actually just rust welded together. So we had to employ a pry bar to actually snap the two ends of the exhaust off. I don't really have a lot of footage of the exhaust actually coming off the car because I suck at my job. Here's another little quick 4K CCTV footage of the exhaust coming off the car.
Oh my god! How did I live? My leg!
Honestly, for how long this job took, it would have been cut down by like 80% of the time if we didn't have a problem with this one bolt. We thought it was just this rusted nut you're seeing, but it was actually much worse. The bolt was actually rusted into the bushing. The only thing we had to do at this point was either break it loose or cut it at both ends with a saw, which is what we did. And here's the big reveal. That's my torsion bar completely snapped, and the other end of it inside the spring plate. It's supposed to come off the car in one piece, as you're seeing right here. So not good. I wish my brother was here to help me, but apparently he has something called a job, whatever the hell that is. With the torsion bar carrier tube off the car and the new parts from eBay that just came in, we decided to move everything to the backyard just so it's easier for us to reconstruct the suspension. Alright, time to lube it up.
Always lube your shaft.
I'm putting grease on the torsion bar just so that it doesn't rust and it's water protected, and also so it's easier to slide in and out of the torsion tube. I'm a professional.
What are you up to right now?
I'm trying to angle the torsion bar correctly so I get the ride height that is stock. See, this is rally spec right now. So that's rally spec.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So this is lifted. This is like a lifted.
This is lifted, yeah, on the
so
left side.
For those who don't know, the suspension, the torsion bars, just putting the rod in is actually how you can determine your rear ride height. So it's actually super easy to lower and raise the suspension of these Porsches.
No, that is wrong. What was the process of getting this out of the car?
All right, maybe it was like medium difficulty. I don't know. I didn't do it myself. So.
Yeah, exactly. This process is actually really annoying. Just making sure that the angle is right and skipping through the teeth is really hard to do when it weighs about 3 million pounds. But we managed to get it in the end. With the ride height adjustment done, we rebuilt the whole system and got it all into one piece so that we can put it back on the car. So Joseph, give us a rundown on the problems we have faced today.
So a bunch of problems. Lining up both of the spring plates was a big one. You need to find flat ground, and the actual carrier itself is not even flat on both sides, so it made it quite difficult. So it's good to go. It's good to go.
Is that it? Cut. So we have everything ready. We are just gonna start torquing everything down and then put on the jack and then on the car. You're good, you're good, you're good. The main problem with actually mounting it back on the car is making sure it aligns with everything once it's going up. It was really annoying. It took us about 4 hours just to line all of these parts up. But once everything was screwed in and torqued, it was time to put on the wheels. And after 2 grueling months, the Porsche suspension was fixed. It does need a full alignment, but with the back and front tire leveled out, we can move on to the exhaust. A lot of people that drive the 944 kind of say that the stock exhaust sounds pretty good and you shouldn't really screw around with it. I found out that there's a really inexpensive muffler that kind of does make the car sound pretty good. It is a Cherry Bomb glass pack muffler. I liked what I heard in the videos about the muffler, so I bought it, and as you'll see, it was actually a good idea. The first thing to tackle with the exhaust is just cleaning up the upper portion from the muffler just so that it looks a little better, and then moving on to the rusted bolts at the flange of the exhaust and actually drilling them out by hand. It took about 4 hours to get one hole through, so I kind of just gave up on drilling it by hand and took it to a shop instead. Coincidentally, the mechanic that was servicing my car is actually very familiar with German cars. With the exhaust off the car, all they did was just cut the muffler off. They welded the new muffler on, and that was it. After all that, the exhaust is complete with the new muffler. Obviously, the first thing I did was give it a few revs just to hear the new muffler in action. We have the new exhaust installed, and I don't know if you can hear it in the car, but it sounds pretty good. I'm quite happy with how it's not too drony in the car, but I can still hear it if I give it a lot of revs. Yeah, this thing is pretty fun. It is very fun. It's funner than more fun than your egg.
Not the egg!
Hashtag golf GTI cringe 944W. Hold on, I'm trying to close my eyes. So far, like, for the investment that I put into this muffler, it's been rewarding me very well. Right now, we're gonna move the mic to the back of the car so you guys can get a real listen of it right out the back of my... That's nice. While this doesn't really compare to the Subaru or the GTI, I'm still quite happy with it. At the end of the day, it was just $60 for quite a considerable volume boost. Seems like a pretty good deal. And just like that, it's back. The next step is purely cosmetic. I want to clean the wheels, polish the paint, and fix any paint chips that are still on the car. It's been a long 2 months, but now that it's fully rebuilt and ready to drive, you'll be seeing a lot more 944 content in the future. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.